J. Artimus Reedy, the fourth work of short fiction in the original series Wyoming Tough by W. Burtis. Mail Order Bride, catalog number 613. Artie bent over the steering wheel of his dilapidated Chevy pickup truck. It bounced like a marble on a washboard across the cattle guard onto the highway. His boss of the plains Stetson, with a rattlesnake hatband, nearly flew from its perch on the lowest prong of the four-pronged deer gun rack. The Winchester lever-action .30-30 rifle didn't move, nor did the Remington .22 caliber above the .30-30. The pine-scented Hula Girl deodorizer hanging from the pickup's rearview mirror stopped swaying about the time the pickup passed the bullet-riddled Buffalo 58-mile sign. Artie circled the block of First Ranchers Bank and Trust twice. His deep-set hazel eyes searched for just the right parking spot. He found it, one with 20 minutes remaining on its meter. Halfway up the marble steps leading to the bank's entrance, he encountered Old Lady Spencer, Buck Waters, and John Petrie. When she passed by him, Old Lady Spencer stared at her feet and muttered unintelligibly. Walters and Petrie turned away and began conversing about the recent drought. Artie reached into the top front pocket of his bib overalls.
"Want to cash these? Give me $100 bills."
Will there be anything else, Mr. Reedy?
"Yep. Want the money in this here box $100 bills. Add those you just done to 'em. What I'm a-telling you, missy, is I want nothing but hundreds in the lockbox. Roll and band the rest."
Mr. Reedy, that going to take a while? There are several customers behind you.
"They can wait."
No, you're not being fair to them. Excuse me.
She rolled her eyes, then loud enough for the customers to hear.
I am getting the manager.
The teller returned with Joe Darby, the bank's manager.
Mr. Reedy refuses to move until all this
She pointed to the gray metal lockbox.
has been counted, separated, and exchanged for $100 bills. It appears that there is a considerable amount, and well, it will take a lot of time. It's not fair to these other folks.
She gestured toward the line of waiting customers. Some were foot-tapping. Others shifted their weight from one foot to the other. Several rolled their eyes, scowled, and sighed audibly.
"To hell with this."
The second person from the last in line shrugged his shoulders and shook his head from side to side. He checked his watch as he hurriedly exited the bank.
"Tell you what, Artie, go down to Jeannie's and get some lunch. When you return, the money in the strong box will be done up just like you requested. I have a client in the office, and the other teller is on her lunch break."
"No, sir. I've been hornswoggled before."
"Mr. Reedy, I nor anyone associated with First Ranchers Bank and Trust has ever, as you so eloquently put it, hornswoggled you. See here, if you insist on waiting, wait over there. Please, step aside and allow us to take care of these other folks."
Artie threw his head back and sidestepped like a horse being reined. He wanted the rattlesnake hatband to come to life and sink its fangs into Darby's pinched-up face. Chapter 2. Streams of alkaline dust shoved the truck up the road, past irrigation ditches, grazing deer, mostly does with fawns, toward the foothills of the Bighorn Mountains. Artie's ranch, or dry farm, depending on your definition of such things, is surrounded by a patchwork of rusted and broken 5-strand barbed wire, whose posts, with rare exceptions, are leaning severely or completely down. Behind the hog's pen is a shallow ravine, its gaping mouth a tangled mix of rocks and boulders, weather-bleached deer and elk antlers, discarded farm implements and machinery, rusty barrels, hog troughs, and numerous unidentifiable objects in various states of rust and decay. To the west of the ravine is Little Aaron Creek, a narrow creek that turns east a few yards in front of Artie's cabin. The cabin's log chink, missing pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Beside the cabin is a footpath, its sides lined with large rocks that at one time had been whitewashed. The path leads to an outhouse that has not been used for years. Inside of it is a hornet's nest, a roll of toilet paper, and a tattered J.C. Penney catalog. The rusted top hinge of the outhouse door has been torn from the outhouse's body and dangles loosely. With certain wind conditions, the door swings back and forth, producing a high-pitched, eerie screech like that of a woman's scream as it slaps against the outhouse entrance. Not too far from the outhouse, Little Aaron Creek snakes into an apple orchard. Inside the cabin, leaning against the west wall, beside buckets of kindling, are 50-pound sacks of flour and sugar. On top of the wood stove, grouped according to content, are tins of coffee, tea, and maple syrup. Along the kitchen's north wall, beside the door leading to the basement, are stacked cases of canned fruits and vegetables. In the middle of the room is the kitchen table, its formica top covered by a threadbare red and white checkered oilcloth tablecloth. At the foot and head of the table are place settings. Beside each place setting is a pale yellow napkin folded and tucked into a deer antler holder. In front of each dinner plate is a silver candle holder with a tapered white candle. In the middle of the plate at the head of the table, idly waiting for a pair of hands, is a once white, now gray food-stained pair of cloth gloves. A clear glass bud vase with a single long-stemmed, albeit wilted red rose graces the center of the table. To the left of the bud vase toward the head of the table rests a deerskin pouch with a reddish-brown Gothic letter A. Chapter 3. Peppermint tea, bicarbonate of soda, bromo seltzer, nothing alleviated Artie's nausea. A tingling like that of when an arm or leg falls asleep, or when the crazy bone is hit, radiated along Artie's left arm. A squeezing tightness accompanied by unrelenting pain gripped his chest. He struggled to breathe. He was overcome by a sense of impending doom. He laid on the couch. After several minutes of focusing his breathing, it returned to normal. The chest pain eased. That night, Artie slept fitfully, vacillating between half awake and dreaming.
I gotta see Doc.
Do you have an appointment?
No, ma'am, it's mighty important I see him.
Have a seat.
Doc never wasted time. If he didn't accept a patient's answer, he would say, "That's horse crap. Now tell me the truth."
What's the problem, Artimus?
Been having pains in my chest. Last night was mighty rough. Couldn't catch my wind. Broke out in a sweat, thought I was gonna die.
Describe the pain.
Felt something reached in my chest and was squeezing.
How long did it last?
Best I can recollect, 15 maybe, 20 minutes.
Did it come and go, or did it stay?
It stayed.
Did anything make it better or worse?
Laying down and getting my wind, it eased up.
I have a pretty good idea of what's going on. Before you leave, stop by the desk. Shirley will give you a requisition for some tests. I'll see you back here at 3 o'clock.
The antiseptic smell of the hospital was quickly replaced by the odor of cigar smoke and perfume of the dimly lit office of Frederick Irving III. A middle-aged woman with wide-set eyes and a high forehead emerged from Irving's inner office.
May I help you, sir?
Here to see Lawyer Irving.
Do you have an appointment?
Nope.
What is the nature of your business? At the moment, Mr. Irving is with a client.
I'll wait.
Take a seat.
Reckon I'll stand.
Irving, a short, rotund man who, in his youth, may have been a wrestler, had a moon face, no neck, and heavy jowls accentuated by a starched white shirt, and a leather string tie with a large moss agate stone set in silver.
Reedy, isn't it? Artimus Reedy. How might I assist you, Mr. Reedy? Here.
Lawyer Irving pointed to a pair of straight-back, dark oak chairs.
Have a seat. Either one.
Behind Lawyer Irving's large mahogany desk stood a bookshelf filled with leather-bound law books. Hanging from the office walls, in straight black frames, were degrees, diplomas, licenses, and other take-note representations. He folded his small hands over his ample stomach.
I want a last will and testament.
That's one of my most frequent requests. along with making sure clients don't get hornswoggled by oil companies and mining companies. Let's get started. What is your full name, as it appears on your birth certificate?
Jonathan Artimus Reedy.
Do you have a permanent residence? If you do, exactly where is it located?
62.5 miles southwest of here, at the base of Dactyl Mountain.
Do you have a copy of your deed?
Not with me.
What about mineral rights and water rights?
I own 'em.
I'll have Marion go to the courthouse and fetch copies. Do you have any children?
Hell no.
Do you have anything special you would like someone to have, such as antique furniture, guns, coin collection, or arrowhead collection?
Nope. Don't got nothing.
If you have no gifts or anything special, the whole of your estate will be left to a single entity. That is to say, a person or thing like a church, charity, or library. Several years ago, I couldn't believe it. I had a woman leave everything to her New Zealand sheepdog. Can you imagine? Do you understand the meaning of single entity?
Reckon I do.
Artemis, take a moment to think about it. Who or what is the single entity you designate as the beneficiary of your estate? In other words, to whom or what do you wish to will everything?
Know who ain't getting nothing. Not a gold darn thing. Ornery cusses that drive livestock cross my spread heading for the high country. They're a bunch of highfalutin sons of bitches.
Easy. Don't get all riled up. You have to remain clear-headed.
Artie spoke through a tight smile.
Tell him about the sheepdog. Brought to mind. Had a pet hog. Ida. She was a single entity. Yep. Turns out she was most deserving of pork chops. I want to leave everything to Liz Orman, Ollie the butcher's wife.
Irving's brow furrowed, eyes widened, and his mouth briefly gaped open. The chewed stub of his cigar nearly fell from his mouth. He placed it in the ashtray alongside the others.
Would you please repeat that?
I want.
Artie raised his voice to just below a shout.
Liz Orman, Ollie the butcher's wife, to get everything.
Who do you designate to execute your last will and testament? Meaning, who do you want to make sure things are done as set forth in the will?
Ain't that part of your lawyering? Yep, I want to be buried on top of Dactyl Mountain.
That could be very expensive. Why not be cremated and have your ashes scattered up there?
Nope. Wind it blow 'em all over the place. And my soul with 'em. It'd be like pollen everywhere, except where you want it. I want to be put in simple pine box that ain't got no lock on it. So's my soul it can stay together and come and go at will.
I've noted your wishes.
Look here.
Artie slid a metal lockbox toward Irving.
Full of $100 bills it is. There are more just like this one. Here.
Artie slid a sealed business envelope across the desk.
It ain't to be opened till I'm passed on to the other side. Inside's a letter giving direction on where to find the next lockbox like this on. It's full of gold pieces and folding money. Taped to the inside, its lid is an envelope with a number. The envelope's got a map and directions leading to the next box, and code for finding it. Every lockbox leads to another, and so on till the last one. Its envelope's thicker than the rest and has a big number 1.
Why haven't you put your money in the bank or a safe?
Can't trust 'em, especially the likes of old Darby. If and word got out I got a safe, more'n likely I'd get robbed. My way's for the best. It's safer.
That winds it up. The amount due at the signing will be...
Irving glanced at the cash box, then at the Fall of the Cowboy print behind Artie.
$75 for the consultation, $75 for preparation of the will and testament, $25 for witnessing, and $25 for notarizing. It comes to a grand total of $200. Margaret will have the document prepared for reading, witnessing, and signing shortly after lunch.
Seems kind of steep.
Mr. Reedy, that is the standard rate. It has not changed for several years. In fact, beginning January 1st, The fees for consultation and preparation will increase by $10 each. Please return between 1 and 1:15 p.m.
Artemis, your tests are normal. You had what we, in the medical profession, call angina pectoris. I'm giving you 3 prescriptions. The first one, use if you have another episode of chest pain like last night's. Sit down or lay down and calm yourself. Place one of the tablets under your tongue. Wait 5 minutes for it to dissolve. If, after 5 minutes, you're still having chest pain, put a second tablet under your tongue and wait another 5 minutes. Listen carefully, Artemis, very carefully, if, after 3 of the tablets and 15 minutes, you're still having chest pain. Don't wait. Go immediately to the hospital's emergency room. You must keep the pills, the ones you put under your tongue that are for the chest pain, with you at all times.
Yes, sir.
This prescription is for your nerves, and this one's for sleep.
Chapter 4. Artie's hand trembled as he loosened the bow of the deerskin pouch. After a tumbler of whiskey, he calmly slid his hand into the pouch's pocket and extracted a neatly folded page from a J.C. Penney catalog, 2 rose-scented letters, and a braided lock of blonde hair. Catalog number 613, Alena Zhurchenko, 5 foot 1 inch, 90 pounds. Gray eyes, long blonde hair, birthplace, Moscow, Russia, wants family life. Does not smoke or drink, non-religious. Character, cheerful, loyal, kind, serious, gentle, and modest. Interests, reading, cooking, and health. About the match, man for marriage, between 21 to 33 years. Contact Alena for $1. Alena's first letter.
Dear Artie, because I orphaned at young age, I like the home coziness. To make my house to be special, I like cooking and spoiling my loved one. I like nature and I try to spend as much of my time in nature. I am very attractive. I do not like the lies, the foolishness, boastfulness, greediness. I value a lot those who like to act and not to talk. Alena Zhurchenko.
Alena's second letter.
Dear Arte, time is gliding fast away. Let us act and act today. Do you want to make me happy? I want make you happy. From your last letter, you be very kind-hearted, caring, and decent. Alena Zhurchenko.
Wearing the gloves from the center of the dinner plate at the head of the table, Artie carefully lifted a piece of cake from its pan. He licked the frosting from the knife used to cut the cake. He poured a tumbler of whiskey. As though testing the bouquet of a fine wine, he inhaled the scent of Alena's letters. He brushed his cheek, then his lips, with the braided lock of her hair. With great care, he returned everything to the deerskin pouch. He lifted from the vase at the center of the table the wilting rose, which he gently placed onto the black velvet-covered apple crate beside his bed. Chapter 5.
Artie, you say I be lazy. You say I no more make you happy in bedroom. It you fault. You get me with baby. I beg Artie. Every day I beg to make no slip to path of outhouse. Awful, awful night. I slip. I hit knee on hard, on rock, I cut hand. I crash matka, womb on rock. I crawl, back kitchen. I be with pain, bad pain. I cramp. I cry for you help. You put roll cotton and bandage roll on table. You point to blood on floor.
Clean it before you come to bed.
I bandage hand. I stuff cotton in vagalische vagina. Bleed slow, cramp worse. I try clean blood off floor. Spots only get more big. I cry. I taste salt of tear. I not religious. I pray. I pray first time ever. I pray God please. God be mercy. God please God to take me and baby. I use old water of dish and pan. I tear undergarment. Scrub blood. Now, floor it clean. I hide blood-filled cotton. Pack in vagalische vagina new cotton.
Artie slipped the noose over Elena's head and around her neck. She lay motionless. Her eyes appeared puzzled, then vacant. They closed. A pervasive calmness ensued. Stepping into the dull, pre-dawn grayness, Artie carried Elena's body to the far end of the apple orchard. He slit the skin of the Achilles tendon 2 inches above each heel. Next, he pushed the hook of a single tree through each slit. Using a pulley and rope, he hoisted the single tree with Elena's body until it was a few feet off the ground. He dug a circular hole about 4 feet deep directly below her head. Next, he cut a sizable chunk of her blonde hair that seemed to reach for the bottom of the hole. He stuffed the hair into the top right pocket of his bib overalls. Blood continued to flow into the hole after her beheading. He dug a shallow trench to accommodate the blood overflow. Next, he set about the task of dismemberment. He piled her remains into a 50-gallon oil drum to which he added grain and water. The mixture would simmer for 48 hours, during which time the hogs would not be fed. Chapter 6. Artie bolted upright. He was sweating profusely and breathing rapidly. Sharp pains shot through his chest. His heart pounded like a jackhammer against his chest wall. His fingers and toes tingled. The back of his neck and face burned as though prickly pins and needles had been stuck into them. He placed a nitroglycerin tablet under his tongue. He didn't wait the requisite 5 minutes for it to dissolve. He steadied himself against the wall, making it to the kitchen. From the cabinet above the sink, he grabbed a 5th of whiskey. He tossed 2 nerve pills and a sleeping pill to the back of his throat. He gulped whiskey from the bottle to swallow them. The warm flush of whiskey spread throughout his body, replacing the fiery burn in his throat from the whiskey. Just before sunrise, Artie regained consciousness. His breathing had returned to normal. His hands and feet no longer tingled. The chest pain had dissipated. He sat on the edge of the bed. The lingering odor of whiskey surrounded him. After 3 attempts, he was able to stand. Before he could brush his teeth, he began to retch. He slumped to his knees and gripped the toilet bowl. The violence of his heaving increased as green and yellow bile rushed through his mouth and nose. He wasn't able to shed his long underwear before he lost control of his bowels. He prayed it would stop, for everything to be over. He prayed for nothingness. He prayed for his mind to quiet. He avoided the bathroom mirror. He rekindled the fire in the bedroom's pot-belly wood stove. He tossed the soiled underwear and cloth used to clean himself onto the fire. Artie added the long-stemmed red rose that he had so carefully laid on the velvet-covered apple crate to the now blazing stove fire. He bent his head until it was under the kitchen sink's hand pump. He levered the pump until cold water cascaded over his head into the dish pan below. Using his fingers as a comb, he pushed back the long gray bangs of hair to the back of his head. The fiery, bright red-orange light of sunrise above the horizon's fading grayness formed a cross. Artie saw this as a sign.
Mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima mea culpa.
He kneeled beside the bed, his bent elbows on the bed, his forehead pushing against his folded hands.
Oh my God, I'm heartily sorry for having offended thee, your beloved Son, Jesus Christ, and the most Holy Mary, Mother of God. I promise God to amend my life everlasting. Although I am not worthy, I beg and plead for your forgiveness of my sins.
Thank you for listening to Mail Order Bride, Catalog number 613, a work of short fiction by W. Burtis.